Turkish. Oh man. And you know what? I was thinking about you actually, and I was like, Turkish has been calling this. This is not a guy that's like after the Lord Mayor show and jumping on the bandwagon and that. You've been calling it from the first game of the season. You've been saying, you know what? Even if Arteta does step up, the players are not good enough. This team is not good enough. We didn't buy enough players.
Yeah.
And it's starting to look like you were spot on.
Yeah, Rob, man. I even tweeted about it. Remember my Liverpool interview where we won the Community Shield, and obviously I had a couple to drink, and it was a bit more negative than people would have hoped. But I think people should look back on that and look at it as a bit more of reality than anything. It wasn't negative. The reality is negative at Arsenal Football Club. You know, Ceballos, at the time I mentioned him, he isn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. We shouldn't kid ourselves and blind ourselves to think he was. Bellerin, another one. Today, at times culpable, you know, at times attacked. It's not only today, it's over the last few weeks and years. Xhaka, another one, you know. But I don't want to go around on the players, because at the same time, the players do not sign their own, do not give themselves contracts. The players do not select themselves. The players are there not only through the manager, but through the ownership and structure and board at this club, you know. And I can see the heat is on Arteta, and it's gonna rise. That fire is gonna rise beneath him, because that Tottenham game, form goes out the window first and foremost. But that doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't raise my hope or expectations. I don't expect a W, that's for sure.
I'm scared of that thing.
Scared is one thing. I'm scared of them winning this league title, Rob. You know, I'm scared of that, because this league is so inconsistent this year. Yeah, you can see that from results. Even Liverpool dropped points again this weekend, and it's not the first time.
You know what?
I'm scared.
That was a mad thing. I was just looking at the table, yeah, and we're like 14th, right? And I'm like losing it, right? And then I looked at it and I'm like, Wolves are up to 6th. 6th and 5th place are like 4 points ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, actually, it's not all over. But the problem about it is that I just can't see where a change is coming from. That's the thing about it. I know what you said at the start of the season, and you are right about, you know, the players. We need better players to. But you were talking about to challenge for the league. You were talking about to confidently make top 4. What I'm just talking about now, I'm even taking all those things out of it, right? And I'm just saying, I look at the performances of certain teams. Brighton, I watched play the other day. Fluid, attacking. I was watching Southampton. I know they lost to Man United today, but again, in the first half, fluid, attacking, quick. I'm looking at these teams and I'm like, those players ain't better than Tobias. This player ain't better than this one. So how are they able to do that? And we're not. We don't seem to be fluid at the moment. We don't seem to be quick. We've got some quick players, but they don't seem to be. I mean, nothing's working at the moment. And that for me is the real worrying thing.
Yeah.
You know, I know that if, you know, based off of what you said at the start of the season, if you look at the squads player for player, probably 6th, 7th is where we should finish based off of our squad.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're even underperforming that. And that is the very worrying thing.
Well, to be honest, I'd probably argue that 8th, 9th with this squad right now is pretty reasonable. But you're right, Rob, and I'd be a hypocrite to blindly support and back Mikel Arteta. There is definitely criticism there that he has to take. You know, there has been improvement in parts, but at the same time, we look back, I think it's a year to the day or around where Emery was sacked.
Yeah.
And we're potentially in a worse position. And as much as some people, even in my WhatsApp groups, want to argue and blindfold themselves and say we have made improvements and we're not, we are. But I still believe that the managerial choice we made last year came off the back of having no budget for a manager. And we gave it to a man that's never been a manager before. So in reality, the pressure should really still go above, but it's not, you know, and I've been banging my head against the wall for the past 2 years, thinking about how we can divert that attention to the right people, to the right place. Because even now, if everyone that is Arteta out decided, you know what, let's just move to Kroenke out, they would have a decision to make, because you're putting pressure on the people that make that decision to put Arteta in place, that made that decision to put someone who was never a manager before and had no experience in place. Them. So if you put pressure on them, they either turn around, stick with him and keep him in the firing line like they did with Arsene Wenger, or they change their ways. They sack him or they give him the funds and finances that we can turn around and accurately judge him. Because right now, with a lack of transfer window that we had, because it wasn't enough yet again, Rob, Willian, Gabriel and Partey is not enough. And it's not at the pace we need to maintain change. You know, how many times have we banged on about a certain position or area of the pitch that needs changing, only to fix it 4 years too late, and you'll find another area of the pitch needs fixing? Last year, that transition happened again. We went from needing so much in defense to needing so much in midfield now, you know, and by the time we fix this midfield at the pace that Kroenke works, we're going to need so much in attack, because Oba's contract's going to be run down, and then we're going to be lacking in that department, and it's just going to be a roundabout. What we need is one transfer window, Rob, where we get the business done. But in 2 years, we're going to have two 34-year-olds on 500k a week at this club, Aubameyang and Willian. So we've made the same mistakes that we made years ago with Ozil. Again, that's going to hold us back in 3 years. So I don't know what to tell people anymore, Rob. This is why I am the way I am. Now, there's lack of ranting from me or emotions, because my money's not being spent, my time's not being wasted, in a sense, going to all these games. When that starts again, you might see me a bit more emotional. But for now, I'm watching the game, Rob. I'm watching it like this, like a mistake's coming. Like, it's coming. Oh, they're down. Yep, there we go. Yep. Oh, yeah. Traore turn Xhaka inside out in the middle. I've seen that before. Oh, yeah, the midfield's open. I've seen that before. Oh, Bellerin. Oh, he made a mistake. I've seen that before. There we go. Goal. We've seen the story many times before, and I watch it knowing it's going to happen again. And they need to change that, Rob. We can't change that. You can't change my opinion on Arsenal right now, because it's happened over time, Rob. You know, the standards have dropped over time. We as fans have to hold our hands up and say we are partly responsible for that. But the best thing we can do now is unite. We won't. Only the finances will hurt. And we're making losses, Rob. You know? So maybe it is a matter of time, because the losses are going to affect Kroenke in the end anyway, Rob. But what do you think, Rob? Like,
a lot of growth.
Yeah, do you trust, Rob? Like, let's say, yeah, the manager you want, because last season I wanted Pochettino. And if you tell me now, yeah, that we would move on from Arteta and get Pochettino in, I'd probably say yes. Because I believe Pochettino is a manager that can work under stringent conditions and make it happen consistently. Yeah, that's what we need right now. But, Rob, do you believe that this club and this board would get in the right manager after Arteta?
I don't know. I don't think so, no.
Yeah, because
at the start of it, the manager I wanted was Allegri. We didn't get him. We got Arteta. I've been backing Arteta. I still back Arteta. I think he's a young, hungry manager. I like that in him. I think he's made a lot of mistakes this season, though. I think the ARSWOL thing, there's something's gone on there. That's caused a lot of underlying problems. I really do believe there is something to do with that. And I just don't like the way that we're playing at the moment. You know what I mean? It's just too slow, too predictable. You know, it seems too rigid. And there's a definite problem. But I hope he can get it right. But ultimately, to really succeed, I agree with what you're saying. If you don't have the personnel, you ain't going to win no league. You ain't going to get close to winning the league. And if you look at if we're all honest and take away our Arsenal tinted glasses, like you said, we're probably the 7th or 8th best team in the league right now, player for player. But at the moment, we're not even playing like that. We're not even achieving that.
No, exactly.
So there's a lot of, it's a very hard job for the manager, but things have got to improve performance-wise, at least. You know what I mean? I want to see some performances. Yeah, I'm not seeing the thing that's really worrying me at the moment is I'm not seeing performances. I'm not seeing us. If we peppered up Wolves today and we lost 2-1, you can say, well, but we're not. You know what I mean? You're looking at it, you're like, well, we didn't really deserve to win that. Maybe we could have scraped a draw. We're at home.
Yep.
You can't lose. Can't be Arsenal Football Club and lose 3 home games in a row.
But here we are. It's got worse. It's
Here
got
we
worse.
are, and then we got Tottenham next week, and it's a very, like you said, the heat is on. It's a worrying game. But listen, life and times of an Arsenal fan, man. So
yeah, but you see, Rob, you know these 2,000 fans. Like, I wish there was a way that these 2,000 fans can make a stand. I don't know who it is. It's going to be mixed every time.
yeah.
But who in their right mind? Who in their right mind right now wants to go watch Arsenal Football Club? Just to watch. Not for that.
I get like the 2,000 away from home might be better.
Definitely away from home would definitely probably be better, because right now, yeah, the pressure not the pressure, but who wants to pay and see that? So the best thing the 2,000 people could do first and foremost is not buy the tickets. That's not going to happen. But if you are going to buy the tickets, at least go there with some sort of something that can direct pressure towards the right people, because people laughed at back Arteta Kroenke out last year, that plane. People laughed and put it down. Well, what is it now? Back Arteta Kroenke out. It still pretty much resonates now because it didn't happen.
This video is supported by Profit Accumulator. Profit Accumulator helps you to earn extra money by doing something called match betting. Match betting isn't gambling. And when you do it properly, and I mean properly, you can't lose. So get involved right now. Click the link in the description and sign up to Profit Accumulator right now.